Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate some of our favorites in TV and film. I'm your host, Xavier, and I'm joined by my fellow Popcorn Watchlist panelists on a little ride through some of our emotions. That's right, yes, we're going to be talking about Pixar's Inside Out in preparation for Inside Out 2, which, as of this recording, is already out in theaters. So I know... I think Anthony saw this in theaters, but Danny and I didn't.
I did back in the day.
Back in the day.
I saw it in theaters also.
Zach, you saw it in theaters too. So yeah, we're going to be talking about some of the key themes about Inside Out 1, which, gosh, it's 9 years old, the movie?
2015, yeah.
Yeah, it's 9 years old now. And so, a little moratorium on spoilers, but we are going to be going into some key pop moments and, going through some of the really... major emotional beats. So if that's kind of stuff that gets into your feels, full disclosure, it gets into mine, stay strapped in and, be prepared. But we're basically going to be celebrating, which I believe is one of Pixar's best. Directed by Pete Docter. It came out, like Zach just said, in 2015.
June 19th, so just over
9 years.
Pete Docter is currently the head of Pixar.
Yeah.
9 years in a week.
And a week. For those of you listening to the future, you can still automatically see that, hey, it's good to have a little retrospective on this one. But, the cast at the time was pretty stacked. You had Amy Poehler leading as Joy. You had Bill Hader as Fear. I love Louis Black as Anger. Mindy Kaling as Disgust. And at that time, I think The Office had just wrapped up.
It had wrapped up 2 years prior, so they both Phyllis and Mindy had probably
pre-time
just around that time probably gotten hired to
to do the voicing in a voiceover booth. And then also you have some of the supporting cast. You have Diane Lane as mom, Kyle MacLachlan as dad. He's played a couple of significant father figures in the past recently.
I forgot it was him. Wow.
Yeah, especially if you've seen Fallout, father figures right there. But you also have Paul
Atreides.
Yeah, the original one, Paul Atreides from David Lynch's Doom. But you also have Richard Kind as the unforgettable Bing Bong. I say that with irony, but as you know. But then you had some of the subconscious guards. One of them was played by Flea. He was he's one of the mind cops. You had Frank Oz as one of the guards in the subconscious. Bobby Moynihan as Forgetter Bobby. He's also SNL alum. John Ratzenberger obviously was Fritz. But you have a couple other people who played the various emotions of the different other characters in the movie too. So like mom's emotions, dad's emotions. I didn't know that Pete Docter played Dad's Anger, as a fun little fact.
Yeah, I just saw it there too.
Yeah,
I like that they show the other family members.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the whole point of the film was how do we make not only understanding your emotions to be kind of fun, but also a way that's understandable and relatable. So you have the various base emotions as part of this control panel into someone's brain and kind of developing a bit of a personality. And that's where we meet our main character Riley, that these emotions basically help govern and help her guide her through her life. I thought it was really cool. It reminded me of an old movie series. I don't think you guys have ever seen it. Probably Anthony, called Look Who's Talking. Kind of, yes. Sort of. Yeah, so kind of, sort of.
Who's Talking Now and...
Look Who's Talking 2. Right? It was Look Who's Talking 2, and then Look Who's Talking Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Willis was the voice of the baby in part 1 and part 2. And then part 3 had a dog, and that was... John Travolta's
the husband, Christy Alley's the wife.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Who played the dog? I forgot. But anyway.
I don't remember.
But yeah, it's cool having, famous actors basically play guiding emotions for these characters. And it's a great kind of setup for the whole film when Joy's introducing herself. It's the first two emotions that Riley ever knows is joy and sadness. And even through the whole beginning, you can kind of see it's I don't know how sadness fits in exactly. Because she's like, oh, sadness is here too. And then it's like, hey, I need the consonant. Sadness is just like there, but like doesn't know why she's still there. And then you had like fear. Hey, fear is there to protect her. Anger is to help her process things and express herself. And disgust is another way to express herself, but also kind of like process certain things too. So the running theme of broccoli being disgusting, which is pretty hilarious. That never goes away. But it was interesting seeing these emotions kind of guide her through, especially with the main plot point is that the family moves from Minnesota to San Francisco, and it's great to see like how a young child handles that and how it's processing it. And then if you can't manage happiness, your joy plus your sadness, that kind of throws you off balance and doesn't let you process the things you need to process. That I thought that was really cool.
Especially such a big like move like that,
Yeah.
Going to a totally different state.
Yeah, it's like halfway across the country.
Yeah, almost coast to coast.
Yeah. If you count the Great Lakes as a coast, then yeah. I'm kidding. But almost. Yeah, and I think the movie really resonated with audiences and has still resonated with people who still watch it. I watched it with family. One of them had seen it for the first time. And they loved it. They're like, I can't believe I've never seen this movie before. And they're psyched to see part 2. But the people were so psyched, Danny. What were the box office numbers for this one?
Yeah, so originally the budget for this film was $175 million.
Mm-hmm.
And with no surprise, the box office was $858 million.
Jeez.
That's
worldwide.
Yeah. That's like... And worldwide too, so that makes it seem like a lot of the ways things kind of convey themselves too, like understanding like having core memories that create main personality types, which are the islands. That's pretty cool. It's universally understood, so that's cool to see that it met a worldwide audience.
And I think what's with especially Pixar, like obviously you have the parents that take their kids, or like group of families that go and see it, but then when everyone goes see it, they also go back and take like some other friends, family members, and I think you get a big wide variety of ages.
Yeah,
especially for Pixar.
Yep.
So that definitely helps it.
No, it's really good.
This was the movie that kind of started Pixar releasing more than one movie a year.
That's true.
Because the same year as this movie, Good Dinosaur came out.
That's very true.
Whereas before it was either like maybe one a year or one every 2 years.
2 years, usually.
2013 was the last movie before Inside Out, and that was Monsters University.
That's right. When did Finding Dory come out?
2016.
So that was a year after this one. Yeah.
But that one was the only year that it was just by itself.
Yeah, and then 2017, Cars 3 and Coco.
Funny story, I actually just recently watched Cars 3.
I haven't seen it.
It's really good. I liked it.
It's not bad.
Better
It's good.
improvement.
Oh, it's definitely,
It's not Cars 2.
Okay, so there is like the basement that is Cars 2, but Cars 3, I think I'm also on a bit of a kick. There's another show I was watching about somebody struggling to realize that their time in a particular sport is almost up, and it's wrestling through some of those themes again in Cars 3. But I realized that the voice cast was pretty good. You had Nathan Fillion in Cars 3. He's the business mogul that I don't want to say spoilers stuff for Anthony. I haven't seen it, but he looks like a Cadillac.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch.
So I don't know if you should. It's pretty cool.
The Cars movies are the only Pixar movies I haven't seen.
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
You haven't seen the first one either?
First one's fun, but like
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, the first one's cool, but like the third one is pretty legit too. I think we were talking about it off podcast, but Margot Martindale's in it. The guy from The Wire.
Which one?
The
guy.
The mayor.
The guy.
The mayor?
Is it yes.
That guy?
He's there. Chris Cooper is in it too. Obviously, Owen Wilson. Some of the returning characters, like Big Tex.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy, obviously. they kind of toned him down from 2 a little bit, but he's still like enough to like help. What's this lady from Bonnie Hunt? Yes, Bonnie Hunt.
From Toy Story.
Yeah, she's in the Porsche, the Porsche. Yeah, Sally. Anyway, it was like funny enough, like like Cars 3, like I remember seeing, like, I don't know, obviously Cars 2 left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, but Cars 3 is serviceable. I liked it. It was good. But yeah, going back to Inside Out, we're going back inside to Inside Out. Sorry, I had to do that. But going into it, kind of like everybody's first time watching it, like I don't know if like what you all got through or got out of it or like felt, like I don't know, it's like it was like, at least me, like it definitely like emotionally impactful, fun, like again, no pun intended, but it was, I think, a really cool way, and I think it was like sort of a precursor to people starting to kind of take and value things like mental health. It's like, wait, it helps you understand your emotions and what your emotions are for. And I'm pretty sure, someone fact check me on, but I'm pretty sure like it's just they had to have consulted like high end or like psychologists and psychiatrists about like helping understand and animate and kind of give life to these various emotions. At least I think so. That's something I felt. At least I remember. But would you guys also think about the animation style?
It was really cool. Very, very imaginative and super colorful. I think this probably was one of the earlier Pixar movies that was very colorful until like maybe Coco, because Coco was like, I know Up was also very colorful because with all the balloons.
Yeah, but in the jungle too, and
But they do a very good job of like just like like each movie has its own distinct art style. And I liked it.
Even some of the detail when you look at like any shots of the emotions up close, like their skin is like this.
It's like kind of flaky.
It almost looks like a Muppet, but it's not. It almost looks like it's fuzzy,
but it's like floating.
Like,
yeah, it like floats a little bit. It emanates out.
I'm not really sure how they did that. But
like it's almost like the emotion again. Like it has its own kind of life, which kind of makes sense when Riley was born.
Yeah, like they're not solid. It's like I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, it's like you can think they're detailed, but a little like fluffy, plush. You can see it mostly in joy.
Tuft.
Yeah, I guess tough. Yeah, you can see it a lot in like in joy.
Yeah.
A little bit in sadness, anger when he gets mad. Like you can see some of that stuff come through. And then fear, you can see it a lot more in his face. Disgust, kind of. Yeah, like I mean, like again, like the greens, like to Anthony's point, is so like it's like vibrant, but it's like it's animated, but it almost looks kind of realistic
and
too.
Glittery. It's like,
yeah. It's very interesting. Even the mine workers have a little bit of that going on.
Really?
It's pretty legit. Like it's cool. Also, like Giacchino just striking gold again. Like that, the main like theme and motif of the movie is just always. I always hear it, and I get a little.
He was on a tear, man.
Emotion. He really was.
He's done so many Pixar movies. It's pretty crazy.
And like a lot of the Pixar movies he's done are like in at least the top, for sure, like in the top 5.
He did the music for Cars 2.
I know. He's also at the bottom.
But bottom 5 and top 5.
Number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, the movie's not bad because of the music.
What, Cars 2?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not bad because, trust me, it's not bad because of the music.
But then again, like I don't remember the music. It's not memorable.
It's very spy-esque. It's whatever. But
what, Cars 2 or Inside Out?
He's talking about Cars 2.
Yeah. Very not.
Yeah, it's because like he's Incredibles.
All right, guys. I'm gonna list it right now. Incredibles, Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Ratatouille. Oof.
Up.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
Like woo.
Cars 2.
And then it's like
Inside Out.
And then
he did 2 for back to back. Coco, Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2.
Coco.
And then he went over here. He did
Lightyear.
And that's it. That's the newest one.
Okay.
So he didn't do Inside Out 2.
No, he didn't. They used his theme.
They mentioned that they used his theme. So
yep. But like
he might end up doing the next Pixar movie then.
It really
it seems like they have like 3 or 4 and they kind of just go in like a cycle.
I loved how like I don't know what you guys also thought about like like core memories, how like you always fall back to like the things that kind of like go back and it's like almost make you who you are, like especially like her hockey core memory of just like her being like really young and like miss but not miss, yay I made it. And so like because she made the goal, it's like cool, like I like that feeling, I want to do it more often, and that became like her hockey island.
And it was one of those where it's like she was young enough where it's like no matter what she did, like seeing her parents getting that elation, then it like kind of goes on to her. And so I guess that's what like that specific time was like, I remember that time because that's what made me like hockey, because it was like a family thing or a group thing.
And you notice how all the core memories are joy memories. Oh, that's another thing too. We talk about color, like everything's color coded, so it helps land the point better. So you have all the scary memories are purple, all the angry memories are red, all the memories where you don't like something, like disgust is your way to express your dislike, so all that stuff is green, and then all your sad memories are blue.
It's just a good visual.
Yeah, it hits everything.
Red when you're hot-headed.
Lewis Black is just it's so good at this. Like if you've ever seen Lewis Black stand-ups and everything, he always has this animated angry personality to it, but still it delivers fun and funny jokes and ties it all together. So that's one of those like perfect casting moments where it's just perfect. I would love. I think there's footage of it, but like of having the main cast in the production booth or in the sound booths, like doing things like animated out, like especially like Amy Poehler. Like there's some stuff where she goes like on hilarious run-ons. You're like, man, I can't imagine like her having to. Like how much energy that goes into that.
Yeah, she does a really great job as Joy.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, wasn't Joy the hardest character to write because, like for the writers and producers, because to always be positive is such a very hard thing to like.
I'm positive that this is crazy. Yeah, it's having somebody that's just relentlessly positive or like relentlessly like happy. It's almost to the point where like it ties into the main theme of the movie. It's like you can't have it all the time like that, just like, hey, just happy, like my job is to make exactly happy joy. Her job is to have Riley be happy and like, hey, like she needs happiness and she needs other things, but how does sadness fit in? And
it was almost like
oppressively happy.
Yeah, she was like hogging it. It was like, oh no, if she's not happy, then she can't be anything else. I was like,
clearly that doesn't work.
Right.
No,
she's like, she needs to be happy.
To be a
times.
well-adjusted human being, you need to be able to feel and understand these emotions. And like I think, and watching the whole movie, I was like, man, this is a really great way to feel that and understand it.
Therapy session.
Yeah, it's like at first understanding your emotions and figuring that out, because like where do they come from? And you saw like her rundown is like, oh, all of these emotions are there to help Riley either express herself, protect her, or have her react to the world.
At the beginning, they do a good job of showing all of them like have like their little moment where
they each do a control or something.
Yeah, where like she's pulling the wagon around the house, and then fear stops her from tripping over the cable, and then like he carefully gets her to like walk over it, and then Joy comes back in and like.
And then we're goofy again, yeah. Because Goofball Island is a thing, which I love that.
Or like when she's eating in her high chair and the dad is feeding her the broccoli and Disgust comes in
Disgust is like, I got this, don't worry, this looks awful. And just, no, I don't like it. Because, when you're little, it's like, yeah. And then anger is like, no, you gotta eat it. Why eat it?
You want a piece of me, Dad?
Yeah. And then later on, we get to that standoff where just like where, Riley's can't express joy, like happiness or sadness, and then she only has those other emotions, and it's just like the standoff between Riley's anger and her dad's anger is just like we're going to DEFCON 2, and then we're gonna put the foot down. It's like, that's it, young lady, go to your room. It's like, oh, and it was really fun and completely relatable, and then the dad's like half daydreaming, and they show how like daydreams and memories work.
Signal the husband.
Signal the husband again. Like. And mom's that they're like trying to get help from there, but it did tie into it. You know how they were going through. It's like, hey, dad's having a tough time. We need to be happy for dad. We need to be happy and like help us get through it. So we need you to be happy. It's just like that was also like an external pressure, just like, hey, you just need to be happy about this all the time and not really. And then you're repressing the sadness too. And that tied into what was going on. That's why Sadness was changing all this stuff, because deep down Riley needed to process and reflect on her good memories are now sad memories, because hey, I'm no longer there, but I need to be able to process that message. But then you have other things that go into the mind. What'd you guys think of Imagination Land? That was
fun.
Hilarious.
That was the area with the
House of Cards.
The House of Cards boyfriend. Was that the part also with the fries?
Yeah,
French toast fries. Or something?
It was French fry forest. And then is before they got there, I think. Did we talk about the abstract thinking?
No, that part was that part.
We talk about different art styles.
First, Bing Bong helping them trying to get through and find a shortcut to get to headquarters.
And it's great because
there was a shortcut to get to the train of thought.
Train of thought to then get to headquarters.
Yeah, and look, it's the train. What ride? The train of thought, and it's great because in the beginning of the movie, I noticed this rewatching it, is that you see young Riley drawing Bing Bong on the wall with a what are these things? Chalk. Like she's drawing a picture of Bing Bong on the wall. In the montage in the beginning of the movie, yeah. And so and then that's where hey, look, it's Bing Bong. It's like, you guys remember, hey, you're the joy. That's cool. And shout out to Richard Kind as Bing Bong, because he made this weird elephant, dolphin, cat hobo imaginary friend really
cotton candy.
Made of cotton candy. Yeah, he made
candy
and literally
he's part dolphin.
And he's part dolphin. It's like Riley was really into animals at the time, and it's
animals were all the rage.
Well, let's follow him. Dolphins are smart.
Yeah, I love that. Dolphins are supposed to be smart, right? And they go through. Anthony, talk about the going through abstract thought and how Sadness knows about all this, because while they were adjusting, they just, hey, Sadness, go in a corner and read the manuals.
Where I remember that, so I don't remember each of the phases, but there were 3 phases.
No, 4.
4?
There's 4
I thought there
phases.
was 3.
Yeah.
No.
The first one, it looked like they went into something cubism, art style.
I think that was I don't know what that one was called, complex something or complex. I don't know.
I got you guys. Hold on. Non-objective fragmentation. Thank you, internet. Characters are changed in the crude animated shapes that resemble cubist art, like Anthony just said. Yeah, they're just like, what's going on here? And then Sadness is like, no, and then deconstruction is like, we're deconstructed, when they start falling apart. And then
is that when they become 2D?
No, that's non-figurativity.
When they became flat, geometric shapes.
That's the third. The 2D is the third one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The deconstruction, when they start literally falling apart.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then non-figurativity is they basically just become blobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Joy turned into a random star, and then they're like, wait a minute, if you just fall, you become flat. And they turn into flatworms.
And they're flatworms, and we did it! Fit through it. And they're like, let's never do that ever again. And Bing Bong's like, there should totally be a sign that's dangerous. But wait, go back to when they first were about to go in. What does Bing Bong do?
Oh, it's a shortcut. You see? DANGER. Shortcut.
And I'm just what? It's Bing Bong's it's being the imaginary friend. It's kind of relentlessly goofy. But when they miss the train and Bing Bong's sad, and then Joyce is like, no, that's okay. We can do this. And he's just kind of stunned. And then Sadness goes up and just listens to him and helps him process through it. That is the key message of the movie right there, when Sadness connects with Bing Bong like that. That was.
And then she was like, how'd you do that?
How'd you do that?
I just listened.
Just listened. And yeah, big shout out to Phil Smith. The dude, so good. And the way she's animated when she falls over and she's like, I'm too sad to move, and Joy's turning her around. Oh wait, I like this. As they're going through long-term
later
memory.
on, she just puts her leg up. She's like, okay, just grab my leg and drag me.
Yeah, it's it's time. Or when Joy's trying to find Sadness, it's like, oh no, I'm sad, and she falls over on the floor trying to do the same thing.
Oh, she's doing an impression.
And that's when she's trying to find she's finding the various long-term memories turn into sad memories. I was like, that was cool, a good manifestation. But Imagination Land was hilarious because he had imaginary boyfriend. It's
I die for Riley.
I'm from Canada. That's one of the other. That's one of the few Canadian references that are hilarious. The other one being Toy Story 4 with Duke Kaboom. where
Kaboom.
where he was Keanu Reeves, where he was an abandoned toy because Jean-Claude or whatever was it that or Jacques that he opened him up on Boxing Day. Dude, I lost my crap. I was like, I was a gift on Boxing Day. But that was a fun little thing, especially since Riley's from Minnesota. She's into hockey, so she's probably gonna get some of that Canadian fixture stuff into there. But it was interesting seeing the emotions trying to guide her through her first day of school, and it's just like, she got sad. Like, sadness, what do you do? Like, I don't know, I'm sorry. Especially when all some of the memories like project and they see things. It was it was cool. You could tell because like things go blue. They're like, sadness, what are you doing? You're just like, no, like that Riley needs that right now. But it was like that's why that compulsion was there to do it. Yeah, Danny, I don't know if you have other like fun moments that you thought of, like the Dream Studios, where they were making dreams for Riley.
I'm trying to remember that part because I was just looking.
Well, one of the main ones that they were shooting was like she was in class. And
Fear is on dream duty,
right? And so he's like, "Oh yeah, I bet she's not gonna have pants." And they're like, "Oh, she's not wearing pants." He's like, "Called it."
He's like, and Bill Hader's like, called it. And it's like, and then when it gets kind of weird and wonky, he's like, "Pick a plot line. Come on, this is too ridiculous."
A side thing, because one of the things that happens in the dream is that her teeth fall out,
and they're just like, sprinkle in front of the camera because it's like her first person view.
The perspective. I mean, her mouth is below. I don't know,
but it's like, my teeth. They kind of mess up. It's also a dream. So how are you questioning dream logic?
Sure. But that is how dreams are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or at least how you remember your dream.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, how did what?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the teeth thing that I wanted to mention was that I've had dreams where like my teeth are hurting or also falling out. It's very weird. So I kind of relate to that, but you feel the pain of your teeth falling out in the dream. It's very weird. So like,
and then you wake up and you're like, wait, are my teeth still there? Like you still have the residual feeling. I know what you mean 100%.
It's very weird. Very
Never
weird.
had that.
Yeah, so it's like the writers understood that. You're like, holy crap, they know. Like, holy crap,
do we all live the same life?
Right? And then
it's all just very relatable.
And then Joy's idea, and remember Sadness's idea is like, oh, we should, try to, use dreams to wake her up, or maybe we should scare her because, you're freaked out. And then Joy's like, no, we can't do that. We have to make her happy. It's like, and then, you have the dog come through like, look, we're a dog. It's like, okay, what is this? This is okay. And then Sadness breaks away from it. It's a bisected dog freaking out, chasing after each other. And that's when Riley's like, what is happening here? And they get sent to the subconscious jail, where they meet Jangles, the clown. Yeah, Ping Pong gets sent there too. But that clown is freaking...
A party?
Where's the birthday girl?
The funniest part is like, okay, cool, it's a freaky clown, and Bing Bong's stuck in like a animal balloon cage. But then
the long stringy, or the long
as they're trying to get lured the clown out, he's just like out of nowhere. He's like, "Let me grab this mallet," and that's when it became nightmare fuel.
That was like a horror movie, right there.
I remember my sister watching it, and she hates clowns, and she's like, "Oh God, no!" It's like, at first, like, "Oh, it's probably one of those jolly clowns." I go in the parties, like, "Oh, he has a hammer now. No, it's just scary." Yeah. And then that's when Riley wakes up. Oh no! Freaking out, and then that's where Anger's like, I have an idea, and they get the light bulb, they actually plug it in, and they then it takes a turn when that light bulb means, hey, let's run away back to Minnesota. And Anger's like, this is a great idea, just because I'm so angry about it, we're gonna just get out of here, go back to our lives. And Fear and Disgust are unsure about it, they don't know, and and that's where like a lot of the core islands that make up Riley's personality kind of like go away. And you notice even when she decides to go through it and buy the bus ticket that she is wearing all black, because like originally before she got there she had colored shirts, she had various and a part of her whole goofball personality. That all of that was gone. So it was a cool way thematically to continue showing that she's like without her core emotions, she's like not able to express herself, as just colorless.
Yeah.
And you see how like when it's, let's say, like an extreme where it's like one emotion just takes over, like all
like
that could
anger
happen
or like
with just that one character.
Yeah. it's kind of like, disgust is kind of like, like there's her way of like, it's like slightly sarcastic, but it's her way of expressing still displeasure at like train of questioning or train of thought or anything. And that's, they mentioned it before, and it was always kind of scary when they'd look over. It's like, oh, that's, this is where this goes to forgotten memories. That's kind of like, what was it called exactly? Like where, just where you have old memories go, they just kind of fade away.
I forgot what they called it.
Was it like the pit or something like that?
Yeah, that pit.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was called.
I just recently was watching it and I forgot.
You weren't paying attention.
The memory dump. Yes, it's memory dump. Thank you, Dan.
I was close.
No wonder it was forgettable.
Yeah.
Not.
No wonder it was forgettable. And then, oh man, I even mentioned it too, like Bing Bong. Like part of when Bing Bong, like, yeah, we'll use our, I gotta take Riley to the moon, so I gotta get my, the rocket ship, and it's just like her old thing.
Well, earlier,
they dumped it. I was like, damn, they dumped it.
That's when they first met, and she's like, wait, aren't you Bing Bong? And he explains to her like all the like fun things they used to do, and then he was telling her how the way that the rocket works is by song, and he was like, yeah, song is the fuel of the rocket. He was like so happy.
And what's cool too is that like he's like, yeah, the rocket
it goes with the power of song. That's how he described it.
Yeah, it's powered by the power of song. It's fueled by the power of song. And like, once Riley and we went back in time and had breakfast twice. I was like, that's adorable. That's so cool. But like, just goofiness of it.
And wasn't Sadness like, I don't know, like that's impossible?
Yeah, it's
someone was like denying.
How is that possible? Like that's not possible at all. And from there, what ends up happening is that there's a recall tube, and it was kind of messed up when I saw this, especially watching the first time, where Joy's like, "Hey, Riley needs me more than she needs you." I was like, that's messed up. And then karma hit Joy when the memory tube broke and brought her and Bing Bong down into the memory dump. That kind of like, that was pretty rough, and it's like even Sadness is like, no, what's going on? So, that was that was when it took a turn and you're like, holy crap, they're in the memory dump. How are they going to get out of this? And even Joy has her moment where just like she sees the older forgotten memories. It's like, oh man, like here's some of these here. And then she starts finally realizing like, hey, I'm feeling sad. Riley needs to kind of feel sad, but I can we have to find a way to get back. And that's where we get into what we call emotional damage. Because Bing Bong is here. It's like, no, we're going to be forgotten, especially since he's been like rummaging through all the long-term memories, just kind of like living around somewhere. And so now he's in like his biggest fear of, being forgotten, especially we're like, hey, we'll bring you back to headquarters and Riley will remember you. And
every time he touches one of the orbs, like the dead orbs, his like hand keeps kind of like partially disappearing, like Marty McFly.
Yeah, like Back to the Future style, like part of his like his appendages were going away. But Joy gets that awesome idea, just like, wait a minute, we can ride your rocket. And then like she starts like sings a song, and Bing Bong's like, that's a great idea. And they find the rocket, and then they build the ramp. Like, all right, cool, we're gonna do this. And like, I don't know, like 3-4 times, they're just short. And then like more and more, Bing Bong's realizing that, oh man, I'm also still fading away. But Riley needs her Joy, and finally gets the idea. It's like, okay, it's just gonna happen.
I think he said something like,
he told you, he's like, we can do it this time.
It's gonna happen this time. Yeah, it's gonna work this time. Don't worry. It's like, I have a good feeling it's gonna work this time. He's like, and dude, once he said sing louder, I was like, ooh,
like, sing louder, you gotta sing louder.
Ooh, like it, and you're like, no. It just, man, it hit so hard. That's why I was like, I remember watching that whole sequence at home, and I broke down. I paused. I was like, I can't go on. I need a break. Holy crap! This is like this hits so hard, like on so many like levels. One is just like, yo, sad Bing Bong's gone, but it's also like, in order for Riley to grow up and keep going, she has to forget that part of her. It's almost like a little bit of like innocence lost, and like there's just so many. Then thinking about someone being able to sacrifice themselves, knowing like it's not just like it's like death, it's like full oblivion, like completely forgotten, like it's never like hey, like you never existed, but it's like, take her to the moon for me. Like that hit so hard, man. It was It was rough. I don't know how you guys.
Classic Pixar.
Exactly. Except it didn't happen in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Nobody died at the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys handle that in theaters, man. Like, I bet that theater was like sobbing or like just sniffles everywhere.
I think some people were. Yeah, some people. I wasn't sniffling, but I was
That's like the classic.
I definitely was like,
You're like,
it hurt. Pour one for Bing Bong.
Pour one out for Bing Bong. For real, dude. That one, ooh.
He's a real one.
I don't know. How'd you feel about that, Danny?
I didn't watch it in theaters, like I mentioned, but I remember. So in 2022, we were doing the podcast, and I don't remember which episode we were talking about, but I know you guys brought up Inside Out at some point, and then I had mentioned, I haven't seen it, and then you guys mentioned like Bing Bong and all this, and I'm like, I have no idea
what you guys are talking about. So this is So then you
wait. So you hadn't seen Inside Out until within the last 2 years?
So I hadn't seen it until July 19th, 2022.
So not even 2 years.
Not even 2 years.
Crazy. I thought you would have seen
it. All right. Yeah. So you need.
Because I never went with you. I don't know why I never went. Like I just. I never went.
So Danny, we need to know. Yourself? Did you watch it by yourself?
No, I probably saw it with my girlfriend Tina. That's kind of the
Tina, who's been on a couple episodes.
And did you guys cry? Did just you cry, or did she? Did she the only one to cry?
I think both
of you were like. Had she seen it before, or you first never seen? Both of you had seen it for the first time.
I don't remember if she had seen it.
Okay, we'll have to ask her.
But I think we kind of like paused it and then kind of like had like a bathroom break and then like
let's clear the air here.
Yeah. I'm going to the bathroom. Turn on light. Yeah.
No, but like I was kind of expecting it because you guys were all
shook up about it. Yeah,
and you're like, just Bing Bong. That's all you need to know. And I'm like, oh no, what if?
Just like, dude, they're like, what are you talking about? And you see this character, I'm like, what is up with this guy?
Weird. And then like halfway through, I'm like, all right. I mean, like,
what are these guys talking?
Nothing's really.
Yeah, you're just like
getting that emotional here, and then you get to that.
Who's your friend who likes to play Bing Bong?
3/4 part of a movie in Pixar where you're like, oh, okay, this is like the super serious, like adult, like trauma, emotional moment, and you're like, I got it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh. His rocket makes you yell, hooray! Bing bong, bing bong.
Yeah, you're literally like in the movie, joy and sadness at the same time. You're like,
yeah, and that leads in perfectly because in the end of the movie, they joy and sadness find a way back.
Well, because I think because Joy's like realization that she needs sadness is when they were in the pit, and she's looking at the core memory and
that core that core memory that's like sad.
Missing the goal.
Yeah, missing the goal.
Was it was it?
Oh no,
was she rewinding it or was she fast forwarding?
It was rewinding it. So remember, because it was her core memory of being sad because. Hey, remember sad like, oh, that's that time when, she missed the goal and they lost the playoff game. And it's like, that there's her sadness being sad, but then all of her like main core value island kind of came together in that memory.
It was like her parents and then her teammates like
coming in surprising to cheer her up, and they get to be goofy.
So the sadness part was first.
Yeah, and then she scrolled down like, oh wait,
it goes from blue to yellow.
Yeah, it's like it's a sad memory. It's also a happy memory. It's like it takes an idea that memories, especially how you look, the lens that you look at it, the emotional lens you look at it, they can take a certain way and fulfill a certain need. Whether if it's more than just something like nostalgia, it's more just like, hey, like this was important to me because I felt this way, and then I didn't feel that way for very long. As you notice, like she never feels the same emotion all the time, and that's healthy. That's normal.
Yeah.
What isn't normal is cloning 9,999 imaginary boyfriends to be able to hit the trampoline.
It's like you would, right?
You would, huh? That's like reminds me of Leo DiCaprio and Django. You would, or you will, like, and here we go. They're balancing it. Whoa! And she just hits the trampoline and
for Riley. Or they're all going like Riley.
It was so hilarious. So I was like, and that for a second, I mean, there's like, were they ever alive? Or they were like Forky. I was like, are they alive? Like, did they understand?
Wait. Forky is alive.
Yeah, but like he goes, why? Like, why am I this way? And like they didn't have that much thought. They were just vapid imaginary boyfriend. Oh, and House of Cards that kept falling over. That's it. I'm out. We're done. That guy was so pissed. And yeah, then at the end they finally get to headquarters. Disgust has that funny idea of just blowing up anger so hot that they melt the glass. They get in, and Joy is like, no, like, hey, like Sadness, go get, like, you know, go in there and help her process all of it. And you know,
was it when they were both on their way back to the headquarters that they ran into the cloud area again?
Yes, and then Sadness was on the cloud.
Right. I love
and the
it was
guy,
like the two cops, and then one cop goes, "Forget it, Jake," and then he takes off his glasses, and then he goes, "It's Cloud Town."
It's Cloud Town. Yeah! David Caruso style. CSI Miami reference.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, there are a lot of little things there, just like, you know, whether it's puns, really smart, you know, realizations of certain concepts like abstract thought, you know, other funny things in Imagination Land, the way various emotions in other characters show up and how they're portrayed. The fact that they go to San Francisco and the pizza had broccoli on it, and it's great because it's like, that's her core thing of like, I hate broccoli. Like, that's one of the worst things in the entire universe.
Was it broccoli or something else in the movie where I think it was a commercial that they were watching and they go, "Eat me, I'm organic." I'm like, what was that? It was a commercial for something.
It was the pizza.
It was
broccoli
the pizza.
Because it was
the bear shows up in her dream, just like, look, it's a bear. Yeah, like, eat me, I'm organic.
Oh, here's broccoli pizza, and then the pizza animates, and it's like,
"Eat me, I'm organic,"
or whatever it was.
Oh, speaking of,
that's her nightmare. Those are her nightmares.
No, and then there was the rat. It's like play with me, Riley.
yeah, it's because they never
just
got
like mishmashed all of her nightmares.
Yeah, because they never
like
got
the
their
first-
furniture for like the first week that they got to the house in San Francisco, and she's sleeping on the floor, poor girl. Like, and they go through, like, you know, when they're on the road tripping of how, like, yeah, the dinosaur place was fun, and then Dad, like, oops, I forgot to put the car in park, and it poked into it. But what the talking about things that will just randomly show up in your brain, triple dent gum.
Like Doublemint.
Yeah, this, like, the jingle is just stuck in your head, and the memory workers is like, I love sending this out to headquarters every once in a while, like, just to mess with it. It's like, this will never get old. This memory will never go away. It's stuck here forever, and it just gets recalled. And so, like,
And they're like, not again.
yeah, Anger's like, who put this up here? And then, like, there's even a point where I think the dad or some other character is like, what the heck, triple dent gum? Like, it's just triple dent gum.
Well, Riley, there's a part where she's about to get on a web call with her friend that's in Minnesota,
and she
starts seeing it right
yeah, because
before.
they came up to the brain, and she's like, "What's this doing?" And she's like, "Triple dent gum." Like, it was yeah, like, I don't know, like, the way that
it's
was
just so relatable.
It was
Sometimes you're just like, well, I guess that's how that
It's
happens.
like,
in
you
my
know,
brain.
if we're
Yeah.
singing the Mento song.
Yeah. Or, like, you know, there are other old, like, jingles. Like, occasionally I'll you know, like, Crossfire, you'll get caught up in the... Like, all the old, like, toys from, like, the 90s, that stuff would just randomly show up in your brain. And it's so hilarious. But, you know, finally you get to that point in the end where, you know, Riley's a little more adjusted. After her episode of doing the tryouts for the hockey team, she goes back into it. The parents are fully supportive. She's now part of the team, doing, you know, being all-star on her new team, and, you know, you got to see, like, at the end, that's where, like, all the emotions, like, hey, we're able to kind of now coexist together and help Riley through her, you know, her rest of it, because she's gonna be 12 now. And but before she goes into the game, she runs into that boy.
Random boy.
That is probably
That boy?
That boy. Here comes that boy. What up? He wishes he would have said what up, but we go into his brain.
Girl.
And it's just, like, every emotion's freaking out. It's just girl. And completely 100% hilarious how he's just frozen. And then also the one random memory, that random joyous memory that Mom always had of that Brazilian guy.
Yeah, the Brazilian helicopter pilot.
Which also shows up in the teacher's memory too. That was hilarious. Like, 5 more months and then on vacation. Oh, I cannot wait. And then she goes and recalls it again. It's just like, come with me, cariño, or whatever it was. Like, and I'm like, the same guy? That's messed up.
Wait, in the teachers?
Yeah, in the teacher's memory.
The teacher's like, oh, only 9 more months of this, and then she has a memory of that same guy.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Did I miss that?
As if it's
Yes, you did.
Is that like a character in the world? Like, is it a commercial or something?
No, I guess.
Was it
like
the
a
credits?
sub-
Is it like Fabio? Like everybody thinks
No,
of
I think
Fabio?
they both, because remember, Mom's memory is like, oh, we can always think back upon that helicopter pilot from Brazil.
Well, yeah, because earlier in the movie when the mom and the dad are trying to like
Send him another signal. Oh, how was school today? She's like, what the?
because like because I think that happened.
She asked how was school, and then dad asked again, yeah, how was school? How was school? And she's just like, dude, what's wrong with you?
He's like, we should have married that Brazilian helicopter pilot instead.
Yeah, we left the Brazilian helicopter pilot for this.
For this.
And then they go to the core memory and they're like, yeah. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, see, face paint worked. And she's like, yeah, he's great. And Anger looks at that memory, she's like, get that crap out of here.
We don't need this.
Yeah, she just looked at it, she's like...
and then Fear grabs it. She's like, just in case.
Yeah, it's like, but just in case. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. And then, towards the end of the movie, ends perfectly. Like, oh, she'll be 12. Who knows what else is going to happen.
What's puberty?
Yeah, what's puberty? I don't know. We'll deal with that later. And then, because the workers come in with, like, a more advanced console as she gets older.
Great, yeah.
And then you have, then you go to the other bit characters' emotions. Like, was it the pizza worker? There's like, I don't know, what are we mad about? Whatever Troy's mad about. And like just like going through everyone's different head. Then the dog they have food. I want food. Let's go get food. And the dog's just chasing after the pizza guy. And then the cat's watching, and the cat just like spaced out. And then out of nowhere, like the fear instinct ran in, and that's when the cat's like, I'm freaking out over nothing, and runs away. It's a great little we got hit with the emotions. Especially when Riley, came back from almost running away, and it's like, okay, let's lighten up the mood, and it was a great way, mid credits.
She got her different islands back. They show the multiple.
Yeah, and they're more advanced too. You saw how
bigger Friendship Island, and then they're like, there's a boy band island.
Yeah, there's like a boy band island. That's a phase.
And then vampire teen drama
island. Did you see also that Family Island was more? Obviously, there was more advanced, but also had more San Francisco stuff built in too. Like, it was a mix of everything. So that was a really cool growth for Riley.
Because one of the things at the end was that the core, or I mean, just any memory, but like the core members especially had a mixture of two emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
between happy, joy and sadness.
Yeah, you had fear and disgust, or anger and then joy. It was a mix between the two different
it's more balanced.
Connections. Yeah, it's more balanced, and that was part of his memories that then will go off to long term later on. So it's cool to show that things can be nuanced. There's more than one aspect to it all. Yeah, really, really great way. Really cleverly written, really well put together. It's.
I liked earlier on when they got on the train with Bing Bong, and he was showing them look at all the different places. He's like, there's deja vu, and he would say, then there's this side, and there's deja vu, and this side, and there's deja vu.
Yeah, I remember that. That was yes. I was I remember watching it. It's there's deja vu. You got this. There's deja vu, and he says it perfectly in line. I'm just giggling. I'm
the same
the same inflection,
tone and inflection,
everything.
It was the same one. It wasn't.
Yeah,
they just cut.
I'm sure the sound engineers would just copy and pasted that the recording.
And then here's deja vu.
And deja vu.
And Sam's just what? Is he broken? What's wrong with him?
That was clever.
Yeah, that was really clever. Yeah, a lot of the little fun stuff going on within the mind, I think was handled very well. Especially with the different pathways within long-term memory look like the wrinkles in your brain, how that you have your brain folds. If you notice that, there are a lot of little things that work around with that. Obviously the thought light bulb, the thought idea, train of thought, memory dump, literally the memory dumping. So it was really, really
clever
cool.
way of doing that in an animated kids movie.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, with that, I don't know if you guys want to go through, we've done our Pixar ranking, but if you're going to give it this movie a numerical rating, what would you give it?
9.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it one of your favorite Pixar movies?
I think it's one of my favorites. It's in.
I know,
top 20.
I know we've talked about it, but that it's kind of like Nolan movies. Yeah. When you start listing them, like, wow, this movie's so good, but it's probably ranked number 10.
Like, there are movies that I would definitely put above it in my own personal ranking, like The Incredibles. I would put like Ratatouille, Toy Story, like some of those ahead of it.
But still, to be an 9.5.
Yeah,
it's up there though.
I have to go back to the record to see where I put it. But
like, I'd say Pixar's like top 15 movies are all like almost 9s, pretty much.
Well, I was
their top 10s are easy.
Well, I mean, there's what I rate it, which is a 9.5, but then was where I rank it is a different story.
Yeah. Don't ask me to rank it. I will.
Like, I was just
rate it, but not rank it.
19 of Pixar movies have a 90% or higher on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
The exceptions being the Good Dinosaur,
and Cars 2,
Cars 2, and Cars 3 also.
Yeah.
Like Onward and some
Brave.
other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, Brave.
And Brave. I liked Onward. Though.
Onward.
We talked about Onward. I liked.
It was like an 89.
I liked Onward a lot. I think Onward was a good job.
But just the fact that 19 of them are like 90 and above, you're like,
whoa.
How do I organize this?
Whoa. Yeah.
I think Monsters University also might be just below 90.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, like just hit after hit.
Yeah, I would agree with Zach. I would give it a 9.5 triple dent gum jingles out of 10. Triple dent gum. It came out like 4 times in the movie. It was hilarious. Yeah, movie's incredible. As I've gotten older, like going back and now rewatching it just helps you understand things more. And like it's one of those like to Anthony's point where like it's almost like it's one of those perfect storm films that anybody from whatever age or anything can watch and still find it relatable and meaningful. And from a technical standpoint, the art style is extremely well done. It's vibrant. It's colorful. Every character's for the music. Yeah.
Our boy
Giacchino. Yeah, it's too good, man. It's too good. Anthony?
I think I will give it. That's hard. Because I'm also thinking about all these other ones. I'm like,
we're rating it. We're not ranking it.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like the ones that I put ahead of it to me have a higher ranking or higher rating. So I don't know. I think I'd say 8.5.
Oh,
that's fair.
8.5.
Yeah,
because it is good, and I think it's like some of the early Pixar movies and some of the best ones. It's extremely imaginative, and that's like their bread and butter, what they do best, that they come up with wild concepts and ideas, but they make such a good story out of it while being also imaginative. It's a really well done movie. It's a great family movie. Highly recommend it. But yeah, like thinking about it, like again, it's like Pixar has such like a high bar that I can't even put them in order right now, but it's probably not in my top 10. Just like quickly thinking about it, because like very quickly I'd say like Toy Story 3, Up, Incredibles 1 and 2, and like you should start going through the list. I'm probably by like I'll probably go to like 8. Yeah, exactly. I'll probably go to like 8 or 9, and then even once I get to like 8 or 9, there's probably 5 more before I get to this one. So it's like it's not saying Inside Out is bad at all. It's just that's how good Pixar movies are. That there's a kind of like the MCU where it's like there's probably like 10 like top tier MCU movies, and then there's like a pretty good chunk after that, and then there's the middle, and then there's only just like a few bottom ones on the MCU, at least to me. But yeah, Pixar, I don't even know if there's like a bad one. It's just that there's others that are so good that the worst one is just a good movie that's better than most movies, which is still a high bar.
I still haven't seen Elemental. So okay, so Elemental's supposed to be really good.
Very similar to this, where first of all, the advertising was terrible for that movie. But
was it John Carter terrible?
Yeah, because nobody watched it.
Well, it made money in Korea, but
it made money here because of it had legs. Because I think word of mouth, people saw it and they're like, "Hey, it's actually good." That's another similar. It was like Back to Formula, where
Peter Son's
they had a very
debut,
Back to Formula. Back to Formula. They had a interesting concept, but the story was also well done and very imaginative.
They just didn't market it well.
No, the marketing was terrible. I almost didn't want to see it, and I usually want to see almost every Pixar movie except for Cars for some reason. I don't know why. I cannot tell you why. I haven't seen them yet.
I think it's just very.
It's just
you have Disney Plus. Just watch it.
I know. It's not even that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like I think when it came out, I didn't really have a desire to watch the first one, and then I think by the time the second one came out, I was like, oh, I never saw the first one. And I just he's leaving it off, and then the third one came. I was like, "Oh man!" But now it's like, two of them.
It's like
I'll get around to them eventually, and then that happens.
Oh,
but
no.
it's the only group of all the Pixar movies that I've seen. I've seen all the others.
I didn't see it in theaters, so I guess
I know.
I guess I'll never get a chance to see it in theaters again.
I can technically watch it whenever I want.
There's this thing called Disney Plus now. Oh yeah, I can get there.
I've only had it for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
But Inside Out. I haven't seen the second one yet. Some of you guys have, and a lot of people are saying it's really good. And so far, it's made a buttload of money.
Yeah.
Probably going to be $1 billion movie. Probably one of the biggest this year. So
yeah, we'll be talking about that next. That's the prelude. You know, this episode is the prelude to Inside Out 2, which I definitely have
thoughts.
I have
feelings.
I have a lot of feelings and emotions around the film. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. It's gonna be. Yeah, I've already seen it twice. So,
jeez.
Yeah, I'm part of that.
Cars.
More than he's seen Cars. Exactly right. All right.
Before you finish, I'll give my rating
yeah.
as a 9.
All right.
I like it.
All right.
I can't believe it's one of the later Pixar movies I've seen. Would have been cool to see it in theaters, especially with Zach.
No.
But
we're questioning because since you saw it in 2022, what Pixar movies that came out after it came out did you watch before this one? I mean, I would think Coco.
Well, I've seen
Onward.
So after,
and I think Incredibles 2 was already out.
Yeah.
Coco, Onward, Soul,
after
Cars
Turning Red.
After Inside Out, you have The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory, Cars 3, Coco, Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, Elemental, Inside Out 2.
So I've seen all of those except for Cars 3.
I've seen I've seen all of them except for The Good Dinosaur.
Oh,
well, I mean, some of those came out after
Inside Out.
Yeah,
so came out after in like
all of those that he listed were after
Inside
the first Inside Out that came out.
So you saw most
after
of them
2015
except for I guess like whatever would have been like Disney Plus only.
And next year's movie is Elio.
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Is that
Elio? Yeah, the one where he gets kidnapped by aliens.
That one's next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Let
fun.
me look it up. If Giacchino's doing music,
I believe he is. Wait for it.
Oh, well, by the way, so Giacchino did the music for the movie If, and if you liked this movie, you probably will like If, another good family.
If you're scared
movie.
about imaginary friends disappearing, if you're like me who have trauma around imaginary friends disappearing, then If.
I think you'll like it.
No, my sister saw it. She's like, "Yo, it's like." She was hilarious.
Bing Bong the movie.
It's Bing Bong the movie is what I've heard.
You got
it's
a little
Bing Bong.
triggered over like a couple minutes in this movie.
It's a mix of Bing Bong and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing about. No, Giacchino's not doing Elio. Look at that. Rob Simonson doing it. But so with that wraps up our little rundown and our thoughts on Inside Out, how our emotions and how our feelings on Inside Out. We'd love to, if you listen to this, we'd love to hear what you folks thought about it. If you have, like maybe where it fits in your like kind of ranking of the pantheon of Pixar films, or what you most took away from the film, no matter what stage of life maybe you're in. That'd be a fun kind of point of conversation to kind of keep it going. So with that, we'll be back next time for our thoughts again on Inside Out 2. So until then, catch us then next time. Grab your tissues probably. And I got nothing to say about that. Thanks so much, everybody.
I die for Riley. Is that?
I die for Riley. Who's the one to make you back bing?
Bing Bong.
Bing bong. Bing.
All right. Later.